been to Paris. Oh, you've never been to Paris? I said, wait, so remember that time I was on FaceTime to both of you and she was getting ready and I was on the phone to her and you were in that hotel in Paris and I was on the phone to you and like obviously that's, he was like, we literally stayed in like a hotel in London. And I was like, so that's why she couldn't bring me back.
House on way we ended up outside. I threw that fucking bag, that Apple bag he had, across the fucking hotel lobby, like, bitch, because I thought it was a gift. I said, hey, you buying bitches gifts? And I threw it, but I was salty. There was no gifts in the bag. It was a fucking Apple Care like stuff, like a charger and shit. Like, it wasn't nothing papers, like his whole life, and the fucking boxers is in there. Like, he didn't have shit. Like, you left a good situation you had to run the streets with your so-called friends.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl Envy Reactions back on your motherfucking newsfeed, and today we are going to do like reaction to like TikTok story times. I love story times, like, cause I just be like, y'all really be out here like that. This really happened to y'all? Like, what? So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get into it. So let's just get into it.
She lied about her whole entire life and her relationship, and I didn't find out until 2 days before we were going on our girls' trip. Okay, so let me give you some context on this girl, right? So I met her in school, in secondary school. She came to our secondary school quite late. So, you know, in like year 10, year 11, everyone's got their friendship groups, but she managed to find her way and like, we were always cool. We wouldn't necessarily always.
So she basically had to get the gap and she knew like she wanted to be popular and just try to fit in.
Chill with each other, but anytime that we saw each other or we had the same lessons, it was all love. After secondary school happened, you know, when everyone goes to sixth form or college or whatever it is that they choose to do after secondary school, we kind of drifted apart. Like, there wasn't any beef or drama. We just stopped being friends because we weren't in school every day and we weren't in contact with each other like that. So at the time of us rekindling our friendship, I had just been mauled by a dog. Go and watch my pinned post and the whole story time's there if you want to find out what happened. And I was in a shop one day getting some snacks because I was off college and off work for a substantial amount of time. And I'm paying for my stuff at the till and I hear, oh my God, Malika. So I'm thinking, who, first of all, is screaming out my government name like this? Not that I'm wanted by the police or anything. I'm thinking, who is that? And I look up and it's the girl that I used to go to school with. So I'm like, oh my God, hey, like, long time, how's everything? We're having a proper catch up. And she's like, oh, I heard what happened to you. Like, I'm so sorry. And I'm there like, you know, it is what it is. Like, what can we do? Anyways, we exchanged socials and then she's like,
I just want to say first, she's very pretty, and second, I love UK accent. Like, I love it. But what the hell is a secondary school? Is it like first school and then y'all go to a second school? Maybe I couldn't even do the first one. So to go to a second school, just go ahead and just kill me now, cause fuck, no.
oh, like, we should meet up for like coffee or something. So we've got each other on socials. Over time we get closer. She invites me to her birthday and our friendship kind of grows from there. It was really cool, like friends, and she would, you know, be very affectionate and speak life into me and always encourage me, and she was so cool. So I thought, using the Amika styling oil on the ends of my hair, this smells so good. She grew up with mum and dad at home. Everything was, as it seems, quite normal. So because she lived local to me, we'd spend a lot of time around each other's houses, but she wouldn't really come to mine. I would go to hers, not for any particular reason. I then gathered that her mum and dad were quite strict. They wouldn't really allow her to be out after certain times, or she wouldn't be allowed to go to a lot of events and places that I would go because I had a different level of freedom. Guys, I think I just bought fake gummy wax. We'd either do stuff during the day or I'd just go out with my other friends in the night. So now fast forward some time, you know, we've been cool with each other. Like, I would catch her out in a lot of like little white lies, but you know them lies where you can't even really say anything because then you look like the mad person. But I would always just keep like a mental note in my head. On Monday I'll ask her this and her answer is something different.
My thing is, like, I can understand what sis saying, because if you could lie about something so fucking small, you could lie about anything. Like, if I'm asking you what you eating and you be like, yeah, I'm eating sushi and stuff like that on the balcony, but you literally eating a fucking toast in your house, I'm just gonna look at you like, Why did you lie? What was the reason for you to lie? Like, what?
Different. And then on Friday, when I'm asking her the same question, her answer is something different. So that was just always something that I would think, why is she lying? But I could never bring it up because I would look crazy. And tells me that she's dating this guy and everything's going good. And obviously, as her friend, I'm like, yes, sis, like, you know, like, you got your little bae or whatever. But she had this thing for older guys. She always used to tell me that she wants, I don't want to say an uncle, but she liked an older guy. And I was always like, girl, like, you're just young, like, you're too young. But I'm not one to judge, you know. You can do whatever you want, but just be careful in it. Because I'm obviously asking questions about him, like, oh, where's he from, where did you meet him? How can she tell me she met him at a house party? So I'm like, in my head at the time, I'm thinking, that's a bit dodgy, because you're not even allowed out. How did you meet him at a house party? And also, the area that we grew up in, I don't want to sound like Mr. Busy Prime Minister, but like, I knew of everyone. So I would have been there too. Do you know what I mean? So when she was telling me she met him at a house party, I was just like, all right, cool. I'm going to ask her this again in a few weeks and let me see if her answer changes. If it stays the same, she's telling the truth. If it changes, then it's a lie. Fast forward a couple weeks, I ask her again, where did you meet him? She said she met him on Tinder. I was like, that's making a bit more sense, because you're not allowed out. You can't meet people. Well, not like people at like events and stuff, or like when you go out or bars or whatever, you do, because you're not allowed to go to these places. Or if she did, then she'll just lie and say that she's like with me, or she's just, I don't know, whatever she would lie and say to her mum and dad. Nothing wrong with dating apps. If you want to find your bae on dating apps, find your bae on dating apps. It's not that deep. I think she would try and like small girl me and be like, oh, like, where you talk to these young bucks, these young boys, they ain't got money, they ain't got this. Girl, I'm about 18, 19 years old. That's not my main focus right now. Yeah? Anyways, even though you lied about where you met him, like, I can look past that, because it's the small little white lies that you can kind of get over, but they all add up over time. With this guy, she's telling me that she's going to Paris with him at one point. So I was like, Paris, you getting flued out? Nah, you've hit a lick, you've won in life. Like, I was so excited for her, because obviously, who doesn't want their babe to take them on holiday? Like, come on, like, let's be serious, let's be serious. Also, another bit of information about my friend. She absolutely loved 3 Shots with Tequila, the podcast. At the time, they were popping off. Like, she was obsessed with them. She loved Keith, she loves Taser Black, she loved Matthew Bridges, she loved all of them. She was a big supporter of their podcast, which was great. I never really listened to it, but like, I was very familiar of them. Like, I'd see them on social media, like, I knew who they were. I just hadn't listened to their podcast very like actively. There was a live show at one point, right? There was a live show, and she asked me if I wanted to go. Even though I didn't really listen to their podcast, I was like, oh, my friend wants to go here. Like, one thing about me, I'll tag along anywhere. As long as it's a vibe and it's not boring, I'm there. So she's like, oh, let's go. So I'm like, yeah, cool, like, fine, no problem. And then on that day of the podcast, we decided that we were going to go to Fresh Island. You know, the festival, Fresh Island Festival, if you know, you know. We were just going to go to the festival for her birthday. She was turning 19. I think I was already 19 at that time. So this was over like a couple years. Girl, seen this on Instagram. We're going to shut it down. Let's start planning the trip. You're probably thinking, Malika, this story sounds completely normal. Like, why are you're taking ages to get to the main plot? You need to watch this properly, because you're going to be shocked. I'm going to split it into 2 parts. Now, like, the week of the holiday, right? Her man is, everything's perfect. Everything is literally cool. All I know is that she kind of has to lie sometimes to go out with her bae. She's met his mum and dad. She's met the whole family, and everything's cool. Like, she's telling me, like, she loves him and how he's got this really good job. And I was like, oh, period. I'm in Sainsbury's warehouse, yeah, when I used to work in Sainsbury's in the clothing section. I'm in the warehouse, just on my phone, even though I should be working, but whatever, we move. And I get an Instagram message from her boyfriend. Now, the reason why he had me on Instagram was he followed me on Instagram, and I screenshotted that and sent it straight to her, because I don't want any wahala. Your man's cool or whatever, but your man's not my mate. And also, I had never met him actually, but he was always saying, oh yeah, I really want to.
Your man's not my mate, so he shouldn't be fucking following me unless he won't take me on a date. I'm sorry, I had to rhyme back. I had to rhyme.
Meet Malika, I really want to meet Malika.
I love that name.
Message me. So when he's messaged me, he's like, oh, hi Malika, can you just let me know of your friend's address because I want to send her flowers for her birthday. So I'm like, oh, that's so cute, oh, that's so nice, let me send the address. I sent the address over. In my head I was thinking, why don't you have the address to your own girlfriend's house? But
Michaela, why the fuck did you do that shit? Why the fuck did you do that shit? Something bit me. I think it's a bug in here. Why the fuck did you do that shit? Please tell me you're lying. Please tell me you're lying. Cause
that's neither here nor there. I don't know. Maybe he's lost it. I don't know. But that was a bit like, I've sent him the address and he's like, oh, no. I need the other address. The address with the gate. And I was like, what, like the front door garden? Or like, what are you talking about? And he's like, no. I've got that address. Just got another house, innit? And I was like, what the fuck? What's going on? And I'm messaging her saying, can you just confirm your address, please? Because I just need to do something. Because also I didn't want to expose the gift, the surprise. And he's like, what? Well, you know what? Let me just message her brother, her older brother, and then get it from there. And I was like, older brother? There's no older brother. She's the oldest. Maybe you're confusing her tall brother because she had a taller brother, and you think that he's older. No, maybe you just got it confused. Like, obviously, sometimes people make mistakes. Everything's all cool because that's her younger brother. She had 2 younger brothers, and no older siblings. She was the oldest, and he's like, no, her older brother. She's got 3 older brothers and then also 2 youngers. He's like, what? So you mean to tell me that this isn't her older brother? Let me see. And then he was trying to find, also this is on a call, on an Instagram call. So he was trying to find through their WhatsApp chat a picture of him. How can he send me a picture of Taser Black? This is Taser Black for reference. He sent me a picture of Taser Black and my heart sank to the bottom of my stomach. I was like, that's Taser Black. That's not her brother. Yeah, no, that's, yeah, and obviously the guy that's got the podcast and stuff, yeah. So I was like, no, this isn't real, no. Is this some sort of joke? He's like, yeah, she's got 3 brothers and then like they all do that podcast. And I was like, what, 3 shots of tequila? Wait, hold on a minute. So now I'm texting my friend saying, where are you? Like, answer my phone call because I was trying to call her to see what the hell is going on. These are not her brothers. She just watches their podcast. Like, she really likes their podcast, yeah, but they're not her brothers, no. I don't even think they're all Nigerian. How could they be her brothers? I thought he was joking and he thought I was joking. But I weren't joking and neither was he. So I'm like, what the heck is going on? He's like, wait, so like all those events you go to, she goes there to manage and help with the event stuff. And I was like, no, the most recent event, because she was obsessed with wanting to buy a house at the time at the age of 19. I was like, all right, get to your bag, sis. But so the specific housing seminar thing she wanted to go to was, I think Matthew Bridges was doing it with some solicitor. So I'm there sitting here listening to people talking about mortgages and stuff about, at like 19. Thinking, girl, I'm trying to live at home for the rest of my life. But she's like really, really wanting to do this. So I said, okay, I mean, I'll come because there's a vibe, but I'm not buying a house. She wasn't helping out, no. And I was like, no, she bought a ticket. We both bought tickets to go. So all those times you've been out, she's not been with you. And I was like, no, like we would usually do, because I didn't want to snitch on her and say, yeah, her mum and dad's so strict. I would just say, no, we would usually do stuff during the day. Like I would go with my other friends to the events and stuff that I go to. But yeah, no, ever since she's turned 18, like I've not really been out with her. He's like to me, 18? He's like, yeah, we're going on holiday for her 19th birthday now. He's like to me, 18? What do you mean since she's turned 18 and you're going on holiday for her 19th? She told me she was 22.
I didn't hear that.
Mind you, this guy was 26 to 27-ish. Remember I told you she likes older guys. So I'm like,
Y'all gotta start asking for IDs, looking at the years, doing some research. You don't even have to start tagging the fucking parents. I'm so sorry. Y'all gonna start asking the parents, because these females out here and these men be lying about their age. I could tell by the way they act. I could tell by the way they look that they fucking young, because they have a certain look to them. You could tell me being my age, I look like I'm 29. I look like I'm in my 25s, 24s. I am 29 years old, but I look like I'm in my 20s. I cannot pass for 18 or anything younger. I look like I'm in my 20s. So, because I have a certain look. Like, you could tell, like, the features, it's older, you know, I'm getting there. So you could tell, and maybe, I don't fucking know, some of these young people starting to look older. Some of these young people starting to look their age. You could tell. So that's crazy. That's crazy.
I'm trying to text this girl, text her, nothing's coming through. Her WhatsApp messages aren't going through. Right now, she has not got a clue that I'm on this phone call. So I don't know what to do. He's on the phone to me saying, oh my God, I feel disgusting. I feel sick. I feel this. And I'm thinking, oh my God, based off this guy has no clue. He had no idea. So now I'm sitting there thinking, Malika, you cannot facilitate this lie. You can't. That's mad. That's literally immorally, that is wrong. And that is very dangerous. And he was like, I feel sick. This whole time I've been doing things with this young girl. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. So he's on the phone panicking, yeah? I don't know what to do. I'm like, oh my God. And he was then, well, how old are you? I said, I'm already 19. I'm turning 20 this year, because I was. Story time about when my best friend literally lied about her whole entire life and her relationship, and I didn't find out until 2 days before we were going on our girls' trip. Like, oh my God, oh my gosh, this is mad. So what's the truth then? What's the truth about her? Then he started asking me questions about her, about what she does. She was doing all right for herself, and at her age as well. One thing about her, she was gonna jug down. Like, she was one of those people who was so good at just finessing their way through things. I should have always known. I haven't even got on the trip yet. I've not even spoken to her, and we're already at this point. Things have gone left. I'm like, well, she works in XYZ and she's been doing it for XYZ time. And he was like, what? This girl told me she was the VP of Halifax Bank. And you, Mr. Man, at no point did you question, rah, she's doing all of this. Remember, because even though she lied about her age, in his eyes, he knew her to be 22. Vice President of Halifax Bank at 22. Oh, you're doing all right for yourself then, ain't ya? She worked a good job anyways. I don't know why she felt like she needed to lie about that. And then I asked him a question. So I was like, wait, so what did you do when you went to Paris? Because didn't you see her passport or anything? Didn't you see? And he was like, we've never been to Paris. Oh, you've never been to Paris? I said, wait, so remember that time I was on FaceTime to both of you and she was getting ready and I was on the phone to her and you were in that hotel in Paris and I was on the phone to you, and like, obviously he was like, we literally stayed in like a hotel in London. And I was like, so that's why she couldn't bring me back my croissant. He's like, we never went to Paris. We never ever went to Paris. I've never actually even been to Paris with her. So she lied to you. And to be honest, this is kind of all making sense now, because you're sitting here telling me like the truth, and like now things are making sense on your end. I was even confused why she was even friends with you, because the way she used to talk about you, I said, let me get my Stanley cup and be seated. I had to sit down in the back of the warehouse, child. I sat down in that warehouse and I said, talking about me. What was she saying about me then? And he was like, so wait, just tell me a bit about yourself, a little bit, just so I can, like, yeah. So I'm there, sitting here, no, I'm in college, she's just working, vibing, yeah, winning, about to go on this girls' trip. Bearing in mind, I've already paid for this holiday, everything's paid for, and it's non-refundable, mind you. So he's like, yeah, no, she told me you dropped out of college, and how like you just don't want to work, you don't want to do this, you don't want to do that, you're basically ambitionless, and how you're just going to end up pregnant by some random guy because you just have sex with everyone. I was in disarray. I'm sat there in the back like,
I can't wait to see how this ponytail gonna look. But yeah, that's crazy.
This is how someone can. She would always talk about you, and I would be confused, and I would always ask as well, like why she's still friends with you, because if she doesn't rate you, why do you still be like hang around with me? And I was like, and then he was saying how like she basically just feels sorry for you because you're just a low life. Basically, you ain't got no aspirations. You're just a bum, and you always beg her for money. I was like,
whoa.
I'm sorry. I work 2 jobs. That is far from the truth. He was then telling me all of my family business. He was relaying my home problems back to me. That means she was taking what I was saying to her in confidence and running her mouth to her man. And I was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. He was telling me basically what knickers I was wearing, what I had for breakfast, what I had for dinner, what I did on this day, what I did on that day. And I was in disbelief. She was dragging me through the mud. And then he then mentioned her friend, a friend that she had. And I was like, that's not her friend, that's my cousin. She's never met my cousin before, because he said the name and I was like, oh no, that's not her friend. I think you must have got this confused clearly, because that's my cousin they've never met. He was like, wait, so you mean to tell me that's not your cousin that she had to pay for to get to New York and get back home because she went there with no money? And I was like, she lied about knowing my cousin. She lied about my friend. My cousin, she's never even been to New York. That's what was even so mad. I was like, these lies are outlandish and you're believing them. Right. I was thinking, so you're just running a charity case. You're just running a charity case here. She's just giving money to the peasants, the poor, the brokies that beg her, the homeless people. And I was like, no, they've never met before. That's my cousin. They don't even have each other on socials. Like, do any due diligence. Have you not gone on Instagram following? You go and see, and she's not followed back by any of these people, but she follows them. Does that look like she knows those people? And he's like, oh my God, I never thought of that because I'm not really on social, blah, 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 all that stuff. My friend has done me dirty like this. All so she could try and make herself look better. Or whatever the case is. I don't even know why she would do that. London, like the trip was bearable. Like I managed. I did have a good time nonetheless. Her friends were weird, didn't like them. From when someone can lie and say that Taser Black is their cousin, and that Matthew Bridges is their brother, or whatever she said. And at the age of 22, she became vice president of Halifax. So guys, please stay vigilant, because these girls, some of these girls, as a girl, you really need to be careful about who you're making friends with, and you need to do your CRBs. Let's bring back CRBs. Still can't believe to this day it even happened. That's how unreal it is. Guys, that's my story. If you've got any questions about the situation, comment, and then let me spill some more tea in the comments. Also, if you want me to do more story times, let me know, because I'm sometimes tired of doing hair and makeup stuff. Let me spill the gist of my life, because it's not real. It's not real. But yeah, guys, peace and love. I'm gonna finish my hair and step out. Bye.
This is why it's scary, because these people out here is crazy. Alright, so I had to skip through some, but this one is about story time on my baby Davy setup story. What?
I'll run through it real quick in 10 minutes. If not, I guess I'll make a part 2, but hopefully I won't have to.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna address this first. Did he come with a gift? What's in that bag? So it wasn't a gift. He came from the Apple store because his phone had got broken or something like that. So he went from the Apple store to the hotel. But this story is so long, like, oh my gosh. All right, let me just get into it. Okay. First of all, that video of us in that hotel happened about, I guess, like 4 years ago. Yeah, I think it's like 4 years ago, yeah. And around that time, me and him, we lived together. But we got into like some.
I don't know. Living with your boyfriend and girlfriend, it's just. When I was living with my ex, everything was peachy, teasy, but I felt like he felt like it was too fucking real for him, and he was like, I can't do this. Like, you have to be a real, like, it's a lot. Living with your boyfriend or girlfriend, it's a lot. It's a challenge, okay? It's a challenge.
Can get into it, but we separated for a little bit. But you know, when you separate from your baby dad or your baby mom, it's never really separated unless you're really standing on business. And I was young, so I was never really standing on business per se. So that was still very much my nigga. And so he just wasn't there to help anymore because he was on some bitter shit because we separated. I kicked him out. So fast forward to the car accident, I called him. I'm like, it's not about our child. I know, like, you're not watching her, but I just got in a car accident. I almost died. My body is bruised up. Please come over. Like, you know. So he comes over. At the time, my daughter was with his parents. So it was just me and him there. He's literally pulling glass out my back, like little shards of glass. Like, giving me my favorite snacks, making sure I'm fine. Like, was with me hand and foot and was basically saying, oh, we need to work on our family again. Like, let's just work on our family. That's my nigga. Like, we was never broken up, babes. So it was nothing. It was nothing. And so he was like, yeah, let me just go to the spot I was at, which I should have looked into it more. He wasn't at his folks' crib. He was like, let me go to the spot I was at. I'm guessing his friend's house to get my stuff. And I'm coming back home. I'm like, all right, bet. I'm like, yeah, because we need to be a team. Like, we are a team. Like, this ain't even us breaking up, you know. Okay, so he left in the morning, and he did not come back. Like, he did not come back, y'all. Like, I was so confused. I'm like, where the fuck is he at? Like, where are you? Where are you, babe? Where are you? So I'm not the type to go through people's phone. I'm not the type to go snooping. But when I call my friends, and I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, I was very delusional and very fucking stupid 4 years ago. Like, So I was like, I don't know what to do. They're like, you want me to do my FBI shit? I'm like, what would you do? So they're like, oh, I'll go through social media. So I said, no, I'll do it on my own. I went through his social media. Went through the social media, found some girl commenting on all his stuff multiple times and him responding only back to her. Yeah, so I'm like, okay, this gotta be a connection. Maybe he was with her. I don't know. Maybe I can find out some information on where he at through her. Mind you, after my car accident, even though I'm fully in pain, I still slept with him. So it was like giving like, yeah, babe, like, we're at an understanding that we're gonna work this out because I'm not just sleeping with anybody. And if you say you hear, we hear. No. So, okay, where was I? Okay, yeah, so the girl, I reached out to her. Not on no, like, coming to you as a woman, because it would never be that. But it was like, do you know where my baby dad is? Like, do you know where my baby dad is? Even though I probably should never fucking said that. But I was like, you know what? She's like, oh, are you Jazz? Like, are you Maui's mom? Knew my daughter, called my baby dad by his first and last name. Like, she just knew everything about him. So I'm like, looking, it said this girl's in New York. So I'm like, we're in Philly. Like, where are you? That's like, where are you? And she's like, oh, I'm in college right now. She's like, she's from New York, but she wasn't in New York. She was somewhere in a different state. So this was like a long distance relationship. So, okay, boom, he not with you. But she knew about the whole situation because she was like, oh, are you feeling any better? I'm like, feeling better about what? She's like, you were in a car accident.
Yo, what?
So I'm like, how do you know I was in a car accident, sis? She's like, oh, this is what he said to me. And she sent me a screenshot. And he was like, I had to rush to the hospital. My BM and her mom was at the hospital, so I had to go, to the hospital. So I guess he had texted her that because I guess she kept trying to call him and he wasn't picking up. And then he was like, I love you. We'll talk soon. I just gotta see what's going on with her, if she's gonna make it. Make what, bitch? Like, what? So I'm like, hold up. Did he, like, what else did he say? Like, how do you know about my daughter? She also sent me a screenshot of him saying, my baby mom is so obsessed with me. She won't leave me the F alone. She just got me watching my child all the time. I never get a break. She's a deadbeat mom. Like, all this stuff. And I'm just, like, baffled. I'm like, oh, my gosh. I was working at the post office. I was working Amazon. I was working all these fucking jobs while still having my daughter. And I literally would have to drop her off to, like, a family member and then come pick her back up. That was my world. And every time I call him, like, hey, my family can't watch her tonight. Can you? Bro, I'm not doing it. So where is the... And then when he said I was obsessed with him, no, I would just easy to get back in my good gracious. Like, I wasn't like reaching out like, please come back to the family, please, please, please. No, it was like, can you watch your daughter? No? Okay. You don't want to be home? Okay, cool. And I let him go. But every time he came back, I allowed him to come back. Like, what the fuck? And of course I was going to try to work it out. He was the father of my only child. He is the father of my only child. So, yeah, back to the girl, though. So we're talking back and forth. We realized, like, he's the problem. Well, I already knew, but she realized he's the problem. And she was just like, yeah, I knew something was wrong. Like, I knew this, that, and the third. She was like, I said, have you ever met him in person? She's like, no. And I was like, well, he told me he was coming back here with his things. I haven't heard from him. I keep calling him, bro. At this point, I might have called him like 70 times trying to figure out what's going on. And he's just not responding. So then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just go back to, are you going to get your child? Are you going? And that's what it was. So I was like, you know what? If you're not coming, you ain't have to lie to me. That's like all the messages I kept saying. I sent messages off my friend phone, everything. I'm like, all right, but what's your stance on your child at this point? Because now I'm fed up. And still wasn't getting a response. So I'm thinking maybe she could help me. She's like, oh, he's texting me back right now. Like, we're talking right now. So I said, text him and ask him about me. Like, and he said, oh, she's fine. She's going to be okay. You know, just bullshit. So then she was like, I'm not liking how this is going. Like, I don't like how he's, like, presenting himself as a person.
That's crazy.
But also, hold up. She also sent me, like, 5, 6, 7 pages of their conversations of him trash-talking me. Him telling her she wants him to have her first son. Mind you, the reason why I kicked him out is because I was pregnant with twins. And he said we were not able to have any more children because it would be stupid. And I need to think with my head and not my heart. And so I just was like, I had a breaking point. Like, damn, you don't even want to have no more children with me. You don't want to get married. Like, but then come to find out, he's telling another girl all the stuff that I was begging for. He was telling another girl that shit, you know? So that shit like really was pissing me off. But anyway, and then also they were on some weird shit. They were sending videos back and forth to each other of them sleeping with other people. Like, so I had a video of him actually sleeping with another girl a week prior. He was at my house. And I knew it was around that same time because he came to my house and went and got his tattoo down the street at our tattoo guy. And then he came back to show me the tattoo, gave me some money, hugged, kissed, did some things, and he went to sleep with some random girl in the hotel. So, okay, this video is getting long. Okay, anyway, so me and the girl talked for a while, and I told her, like, well, I'm going to set this man up. Like, I'm going to make him be present because you keep ignoring me. You're not ignoring her. So I need to confront you because, like, this is crazy. All this stuff is coming to me. So me and my friend, the one who I called about the whole situation, we came up with the idea to make this man come to a hotel. And it was going to be broadcast and recorded. But I'm going to answer more questions. The video is, like, you know, clocking out. And I got to get to work. I'm super fucking late. So stay tuned for part 2 or whatever.
That's crazy.
I'm trying to keep it PG for TikTok. But part 2 of the setup with my daughter's dad in the hotel. When we made it in the hallway, I was like, y'all keep talking about my stance and how I was standing. Yo, that's literally, y'all know I was about to swing. Like, y'all know. Y'all knew I was about to swing. But I didn't initially. Like, he walked to the elevator and I followed him. And I'm like yelling at him, like, really, bro? Like, really, bro? Like, really, bro? And before I could even swing, he, like, grabbed my arms right here and, like, pushed me backwards into the elevator. Like, bro, come on, bro. And pushed me inside the elevator. I didn't even get in the elevator. He pushed me inside the elevator. So if he didn't want to talk, he could have just left it there. But, like, I mean, I would have followed him, but still, like. Anyway, we get downstairs into the lobby, and this is where things went south. He was like walking away and calling me a crazy bitch, and it's like a bunch of people outside and a bunch of people in his lobby.
First of all, I wouldn't even been in that situation because I wouldn't even try to set him up. Like, I would have just been like, not even set him up. I don't know if she set him up or not. But I just would have just left it alone. I'm like, okay, I'm cool off on you. I'm cool off on you. I see what you are. I see how you is. Like, I'm cool. We cool. Like, it is what it is. Like, this shit crazy.
Telling all these people in the lobby for no reason, this girl is crazy. Get her the F away from me. Cause can I use one of y'all phones? He just came from the Apple store, but yet his phone was still broken. He couldn't make phone calls. I guess he didn't pay his bill. And so he needed somebody's phone to, you know, yeah. And nobody would give him the phone because I kept saying, don't give him the phone, don't give him the phone. And then it was females that was there, and I was ready to swing on anybody that would have handed him the phone. And I think everybody felt that energy, like, give him, like, you know, give him the phone. I dare you, give him the phone. So, yeah, so then he's yelling to the lobby, the people behind the counter, the receptionist in the lobby, like, get this crazy girl, can you please call the cops? Can you call the cops? Like, he wanted me locked up. Multiple times I could have been got him locked up, and I never even ever threatened to call some damn cops on him. He wanted to call the cops, and we didn't even fist fight yet. So that made me swing on him, not gonna lie. I started getting angry because not only were you about to sleep with somebody else, mind you, he already was sleeping with somebody else, but you was gonna sleep with somebody else when I was begging for help at that time for your child. Like, I'm over here in debt and fucking can't even get to my job, and you know you're the only person that's watching my daughter at the time, and I needed help with my daughter. Now I gotta listen to my daughter cry asking where her dad is. Literally, I still got videos and that shit haunts me. She literally would cry for her dad at the fucking door, and all that rage caught over me, and then you had the nerve to say call the cops on me. And that's why, yeah. So after we start tussling or whatever, he really, I ain't gonna hold you, he got me on the ground, like, but it's cool. We fought a few times, and I got my few licks, and he got his few licks, right? Listen, but I walked away unmarked, but we definitely did tussle. It ended up us going outside somehow, some way. We ended up outside. I threw that fucking bag, that Apple bag he had, across the fucking hotel lobby, like, bitch, because I thought it was a gift. I said, hey, you buying bitches gifts? And I threw it, but I was salty. There was no gifts in the bag. It was a fucking Apple Care like stuff, like a charger and shit. Like, it wasn't nothing papers. Like, his whole life in the fucking boxers is in there. Like, he didn't have shit. Like, you left a good situation you had to run the streets with your so-called friends. They don't give a fuck about you, sleeping on their couches.
That's basically what it is.
And going to the hotel room and talking to bitches. Like, that's what you want to do? Okay. And that's, I guess, what he did. So when we get outside, the cops is outside. And I'm like, damn, the receptionist really called the cops. Like, damn, bitch. Like, damn. So when the cops get here, we still yelling. He's telling me to calm down. I can't calm down. I see red rage and everything. And every time I, like, get an adrenaline rush, nothing can calm me down, bro. It would have to be God himself coming and putting his hands on me for me to calm down. Or him whispering, calm down, child. Like, I don't know what it is. It's just a rage that get over me. So this rage was still going on. And the cops is like, what's going on? And I'm yelling. I'm acting crazy. Like, I recorded that, by the way, because when we went inside the downstairs, my friend met me down there when the elevator came back up and got her. She gave me my phone, and yeah, and the cops was just like, just go home, like telling both of us to go separate ways. We were going our separate ways until he was still like saying little stupid shit like bitch, and I just couldn't calm down again. And then we started fighting a little bit, and then I threw money at him, and I was like, you broke ass nigga, what you need, a ride home? What you need a way to get home? You don't got no way to get home. And he went inside the store across the street to try to take money out. He ain't had no money, and ain't nobody in there wanted to help him come out. I'm still following him, so the cops see me follow him and stuff. The cops ended up locking me up because they said I was disturbing the peace, and also I guess antagonizing him when they already gave me a warning to go home, which I understand. They had to do what they had to do. Like, I understand. Like, I would have did too. And then they put me back in the back of the car. When I got to the station, they put me in a fucking cell, like fingerprinted and picture and everything. It was so fucking embarrassing. Like, it was so embarrassing. And then on top of that, when we fought, he ripped my wig off. So sassy, right? Ripped my wig off. So my mugshot is just me with no wig, with just glue and braids. And it looked a mess. Like, you could tell when the person was taking my picture, he was like, you wanna, you know what, just stay still. Like, he could, I'm like, I know, like, I know. It was terrible. Anyway, my friend, the girl who was recording, mind you, time out, let me tell y'all, the girl that was recording was not the girl who was in the relationship with him. That girl was still in.
No, see, that's crazy. I don't want to hear the rest of the story. That was crazy, girl, because you knew that damn bad. I feel like you was in the wrong of this whole situation. He was ignoring you for a reason. You set him up and you got the bad end of the stick. Like, you took the L. Now you was in jail and he probably still fucking. You took that fucking L. Like, y'all don't be like her. I'm so sorry. Like, she's a pretty girl, so I don't know why the fuck she was even doing all that. Like, wasting your energy on a guy that has what? Anyway, I hope y'all like these story times. I love these story times. It's super funny. Okay, it's not funny. It's super interesting to react to. So y'all tell me, have y'all ever been in this experience? A fake friend who was lying on her homegirl, or a girl setting her guy up. Have you ever set a guy up before, or have somebody ever set you up? Like, comment below, let me know what y'all think. Hit that like button, subscribe. Oh, and comment below what other videos y'all like me to react to. Okay, and we out. Bye.